Congratulations, East Pierce, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 40238. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting just under the front bumper, you'll find two open-ended tow hooks on the passenger and driver side frame rail. Moving up to the face of the front bumper, dual air horns on the right and left side. In the center, unit identifier 116. Located directly in the center is your electronic siren and PA speaker. As we move up onto the bumper extension area, you'll find a D-handle gains you access into your hose storage location. Moving over to the driver's side, you'll find a top-mounted mechanical siren. Let's move on to the body now, where you'll find marker turn indicator lights located on the outer edge. Just inside that location is the headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights. High beam will be located on the inside. Just up from that is an emergency warning light cluster. There are 3 windshield wipers across the seamless one-piece windshield. And as we move to the A pillar, that's where you'll find your mirror housing a flat and convex mirror. Moving up to the brow of the apparatus, you'll find 5 identification clearance lights. And further up onto the roof, you'll find your forward-facing brow light. And then at the very top section, you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Let's go ahead and take a look at some items that we just talked about here, starting with the front bumper extension. As we move to the outer edge of the front bumper extension, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. D-handle gains you access into the covered storage area. This is water and foam. Just inside, you'll find dry deck material and a swivel discharge. Let's go ahead and take a look at the full side of the vehicle from the driver's perspective, and then we'll focus in on the cab section next, starting with the front axle, where you'll find a visual sight gauge indicator into the front axle, Alcoa wheel, and Goodyear tire. Moving to the front bumper extension, side-facing emergency warning light. Into the stepwell areas, where we'll find the air inlet. Moving up onto the cab, you'll find the marker turn indicator light, East Pierce logo on the door, and then moving from this location all the way to the very rear portion of the cab, this is the fill location for your DEF tank. Easily accessible with a gloved hand. We have our door lock and latch combination. It is a keyed entry, and then right next to that is your grab handle for 3 points of contact when getting in and out of the cab. Auto eject directly over the front axle, and then right next to that you'll find an emergency warning light. There's also an emergency warning light down in the lower zone at the rear of the cab. When plugged into Shoreline Power, you'll activate the battery charge status center located here in the side window. Moving up from this location, side-facing scene light. As we move all the way to the rear portion of the cab, you'll find LED water tank level indicators. We'll move next to the pump panel area. We're going to come back to this location as we'll cover that in great detail. We'll move to the body next. At the rear of the axle, you'll find folding wheel chock storage. There are 2 located here. Now moving just in front of the rear axle, you'll find marker turn indicator light. And then directly over the axle, you'll find the lower zone emergency warning light, along with 2 compartments for your SCBA storage of bottles. At the very top, emergency warning lights, and right next to that, you'll find side-facing scene lights. Let's move around to the rear of the apparatus next. First, let's start down on the right and left side with a brake, turn, and reverse light. There are also 3 emergency warning lights on the passenger and driver's side. Just up from that location, you'll find 2 scene lights located in the lower area. As we move up to the very center area of the truck, this is where you're going to find a discharge, 2.5 inch. As we move toward the right side of the truck, we're going to find our backup camera recessed inside the body area. Full view of the passenger side. The difference here is where our exhaust is located. And then we'll move on to the cab next. Same configuration as we have on the passenger and driver side for the most part into the body and cab sections. Let's go ahead and go inside on the driver's side. First, starting with the door panel, affixed to the door panel are our safety and warning placard information. It's a door lock and latch combination, electric window control, and a grab handle. As we move into the seated area, let's first start at the step where you'll find the air inlet located. As we move back in about the right ankle of the operator, this is where you'll find this yellow placard for East Pierce Fire and Rescue. It has the date of manufacture, 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, the VIN number, fluid capacities for each component, fluid capacity, and also fluid type. As we move to the floorboard, you'll find the mechanical siren foot pedal, and then just up about the left knee of the operator, you'll find the master battery switch, quarter turn. All of your tech module, engine, transmission, ABS diagnostic ports are located in the upper zone for your maintenance team. Some switches here: ABS diagnostics, DPF regen, engine diagnostics indicator, and also regen inhibit. As we move to the opposite side of the steering column, this is your pump shift. There are instructions from road to pump and also instructions from pump to road. Just as a reminder, when exiting the cab for pump operations, you need 2 green indicators illuminating, pump engaged and OK to pump. As we move to the steering wheel, you'll find we have additional buttons here for controlling horn, electronic siren, windshield wipers, and emergency warning lights. The vehicle also is equipped with a supplemental restraint system and airbag located in the front here. As we move to the dash area on the left-hand side, you'll find the start and ignition switch. Just inside that location, a switch labeled EM, which stands for Emergency Master. This engages or disengages all emergency lights. Headlight switch and a switch labeled panel, which allows you to brighten dim lights within preview of the operator. To the opposite side, you're going to find the OK to engage your high idle and indicator and switch. To the left, you'll find on the upper portion the transmission, oil pressure, def level, and water temp. On the right, you'll find front air, rear air, fuel, and volts. Located in the center, tachometer and speedometer. Diagnostic information displays above and below in the tally light information, and then also in the display between the tachometer and speedometer. Quick look here to the right, just to get an idea of where things are located. Let's go ahead and start first with your command zone. Tremendous amount of information right at the fingertips. Please see the owner's manual for more information. It's a touchscreen and also function button. As we move down, we have an engine brake on and off, setting switch for low, medium, and high, and also mirror heat. As we move further down on the dash, you'll find the pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. It's the yellow diamond. These are your spring brakes to the rear. To the right, your Allison transmission pad, digital push button, informational note here to pump and drive. Also, while checking fluid on your transmission, you can push the positive and negative simultaneously. It will display in the screen above. To get out of that, just push the N button. To the right, you'll find the wiper washer fluid control, push for fluid, right to left, on and off. Climate control, heat, air conditioning, and defrost. Moving further to the right, we have 12-volt access. Let's go ahead and go overhead of the operator's seat, where you'll find this yellow placard indicating the height of the vehicle, 10 feet 7 inches, the length of the vehicle, 34 feet, and gross vehicle weight rating of 46,500 pounds. If you make any adjustments to your vehicle that may affect any of these, please update this placard for the operator. Also, as we move just to the right, you'll find the Emergency Master, roof light, front warning, side warning, upper rear warning, high beam flash, air horn, siren brake for your EQ2B mechanical siren, a fuel primer, and also load manager. Moving just to the right of this location, we're going to find an additional switch for your scene lights. We have a front flood, driver scene, passenger scene, and rear scene. When any of these switches have been activated via the rocker, the light will illuminate inside, indicating that the switch is active and light is on. Just to the right, you'll find your electronic siren control and PA speaker system. Moving toward the center roofline area, you'll find this flashing light indicating do not move your apparatus when the light is on. You may have a compartment or door open. Also to the forward windshield area, you'll find the Haas system. As we move just a quick look to the rear, we have 2 fold-down seats on the rear cab wall and then 2 forward or rear-facing seats on the forward section. Behind the driver's seat, this is the manual cab lift tool. And as we move back to the exterior, shoreline power, auto eject, As we move to the bottom, Goodyear tire, Alcoa wheel, visual sight gauge indicator into that axle area. Let's move to the rear cab area next. We'll take a look inside the cab area. Fixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, electric window control and a grab handle, and then also an upper portion handle. As we move to the ceiling, you'll find push on and off red and white lights, also speakers and air conditioning unit. These are the two rear facing SCBA seats, one on the passenger and one on the driver's side. These are the two fold down seats, one on the passenger, one on the driver's side. As we move toward the center, this is your access for your daily checks for oil and transmission. This is in between the two seats in the forward location. Roll-up compartment door, two adjustable shelves, LED lighting. Inside this compartment, when plugged into Shoreline Power, the outlet at the very top section will be active. Let's move back out to the exterior now. We'll start first down in the lower portion with your 7.3 US gallon DEF tank. This is the blue cap. Moving now to the cross lays in the upper portion is where you'll find the 2.5-inch cross lay. It is foam capable. As we move downward, you'll find the number 1 and number 2 cross lays. They are also both foam capable. Let's move up to the pump panel on the very top where you'll find the foam tank level indicator. Just to the right of that, you'll find the pump intake master gauge. And then moving just to the right is the pump discharge gauge. Located in between the two of those are the test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure. They are currently plugged and we utilize these for testing purposes. Just to the right, you'll find the water tank level indicator. And then moving down, you'll find the Husky foam system. There are instructions on this module for its operation. Also, we have placard next to it for your specifications and also foam system operating instructions. You'll also find all of our switches located across the bottom here. And at the very top section, you'll find the minimum operation maintenance schedule, which we'll go over that in just a few moments. If you've properly engaged the pump inside the cab, you'll find the OK to pump indicator illuminating. As we move up to the upper left corner for your discharges, we'll find the 2.5-inch cross lay and front discharge, speed lay 1 and speed lay 2. As we move down, we'll find passenger side number 2 and driver side number 1. Those are both 2.5-inch discharges. At the very top, you'll find the engine cooler. This is a rotate, not a pull. As we move down, you'll find your monitor control located in the center area. Moving further down, we'll find the large diameter discharge at the bottom, and at the very top, we'll find the deluge discharge. As we move back up to the very top section, you'll find your fire pump primer. It is a push to prime air. There are instructions for operation, at least 1,000 RPMs for best practices. Also, the driver rear discharge, foam capable, and that's a 2.5-inch. In the upper right, you're going to find your pressure throttle governor, and then just beneath that, you'll find a round, small speaker. This is an audible alarm, and that will allow you to dampen or brighten the sound by simply rotating right to left. There's also a warning placard just below that. This is for climbing on or off the vehicle. Make sure you face the vehicle. As we move down, we have the tank fill and recirculating line, and then also just beneath that, tank to pump. Let's move further down on the pump panel and start on the far left with the warning placard indicating entanglement hazard. That's because of those speed lays coming aloft on the left-hand side. Also, the Pierce logo American flag eagle. This is your large diameter pump inlet on the driver's side. We have a warning here regarding pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. And then also the driver's side number 1. This is a 2.5-inch discharge. As we move further down on the pump panel, warning placard here regarding foam failure. Do not mix different brands or consistencies of foam. Also the draft foam tank lever and also pickup location. Moving just to the right, your Watrous placard indicating the type of pump you have and also the GPM, which is 1,500 gallons. Color-coded and labeled discharge drains are located across the very bottom. Your pump drain is located in the very top section here in this image, and then also just below that is the manual pump shift. Let's move just to the right of this location, where you'll find a pan door gains you access. This is a lever inside that is yellow in color. It matches the door emblem here on the left-hand side. Also, the driver's side auxiliary inlet, 2.5-inch locally controlled via the ball valve, and also an image here indicating for warning, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after you've received proper training. As we move down, you'll find the foam pump discharge drain and foam pump intake drain. Let's go back to those placards first. Watrous placard indicating the capacity 1,500 GPM. Also the minimum operation maintenance schedule placard indicating 150, 200, and 250 PSI test pressures. The associated GPM for each test pressure is on the left along with the RPMs on the right. While in pump mode, you have a governed speed of 2050 RPM. We'll move now into the next compartments. As we move into the upper portion of the compartments, we'll start at the very top with your battery charger. When plugged into Shoreline Power, this will become active. You also have additional toolboxes located here in the very bottom section with rollout drawers, and also 2 pull-out tool boards, mounting of tool board information on both right and left side of that tool board. On the very rear wall, we have a Shoreline outlet 20 amp. And then as we move to the next compartment, you can see your SCBA bottle storage here for 3 to the forward portion and 2 to the rear. Tool board in the upper portion with pegboard also on the rear wall. When that opens, it will lock into position, releases on the hinge side. Also, Shoreline outlet in this compartment also. As we move just in front of the rear axle, you'll find SCBA bottle storage for 3 bottles with retaining straps. Goodyear tires Alcoa wheel. As we move to the rear of the axle, you'll find an additional SCBA bottle storage for 2 with retaining straps, and then also your ultra low sulfur diesel fill location. It is the silver cap. From here, let's move to the rear compartment, adjustable shelf, and then also a through compartment all the way over to the passenger side, a pull-out tray on the bottom, and also a Shoreline outlet in the upper portion of the compartment. The lower portion of the pull-out tray has a release and lock mechanism on the lower right. Let's take a look at all compartments open now on the cab and body, and then we'll move around now to the rear section of the apparatus. We're going to start in the upper corner, first with where the 10-foot folding attic ladder is stored, and then also a suction tube. Moving down now to the center section of the apparatus, just to the left is where you'll find your rear scene lights and also hose bed lights. These are the cup switch on the driver's side. Some warning placards here regarding fall injury. When climbing on or off the vehicle, always face it. And then also because of the hose load above, we have a warning here for entanglement hazard, and then also a pressure hazard warning because caps may be under pressure. To the left is the driver's side rear discharge foam capable. Your ladders are stored here in the bottom section. You have a 24-foot and 14-foot roof. As we move into the lower compartment, you can see inside, right and left side have access. Inside the compartment, you'll find Shoreline outlet. As we move now from the other side, you're going to find pike pull storage, and then also your recessed camera, and then also an image here indicating that you shouldn't ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. As we move around to the right-hand side, we're going to find a pull-out tray, some adjustable shelves, and also a Shoreline power. Moving now forward of this location, we also have a pull-out and tilt downward tray. The release mechanism for that is both on the right and left side. As we move in between the axle area is where we're going to find SCBA bottle storage, 3 to the front and 3 to the rear. Also a tool board located in this compartment with pegboard on the rear wall. Just remember that that lock does open when you lift the lever on the hinge side. Close up here of the SCBA bottle storage, rear axle with Goodyear tires, Alcoa wheel, and then as we look to the forward compartment, SCBA bottle storage for 3 bottles, and then just beneath that is the side-facing marker turn indicator light. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen operation. Please be cautious where you park your vehicle. Moving forward, we'll find a tool board in the upper compartment and also a little giant storage location in the very bottom area. In the very back wall, Shoreline outlet. Once again, when plugged into Shoreline power, those outlets become active. Tool board located here, and the little giant stored in the horizontal position. Let's move now to the pump panel area. Same configuration as far as your speed lays go. At the very top section is that 2.5-inch cross lay. foam capable, and then crosslay 1 and crosslay 2 subsequently below those. Let's move to the pump panel next. We'll start at the very top section with your cab lift. There are instructions for its operation for raise and lower. Also a danger and caution placard indicating for danger because of the movement of the cab and the hydraulic. There's the possibility of pinch and injury. Also, as we move down to the left, once again, fall injury warning. When climbing onto the vehicle, always face the vehicle. As we move to the right, entanglement hazard because of those lines coming from aloft. We also have an access door located on the pump panel itself. As we move further down, pressure hazard warning. Moving to the right, you'll find your large diameter pump discharge. And then moving just to the right is your large diameter pump inlet. That is the Pierce American Flag Eagle logo. As we move downward on the panel, you'll find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drain, and then also some information here regarding the minimum operation maintenance schedule. Under the crosslays, you have an additional storage location. Lift and turn gets you into that access. We're down to the rear portion of the cab area, affixed to the door panel. Safety and warning placard information, a grab handle, electric window control, and also door lock and latch combination. Overhead, push on and off red or white lens lights, your box lights, speakers at the ceiling level, and air conditioning. The two seats at the rear are fold down style. The two rear facing seats house your SCBAs. As we move now to the officer space, let's go ahead and move inside to the cab area, but first starting with the door panel, safety and warning placard information located across the very bottom, door lock and latch, grab handle, and electric window control. As we move into the floor area, about the left foot of the operator seat, you'll find your mechanical siren foot pedal. As we move to the forward dash area, the vehicle is equipped with a supplemental restraint system, an airbag, and that's a warning placard regarding the mounting of any equipment. Also, just to the right, you'll find the fill location for your windshield wiper fluid. Under the seat, we do have additional storage located here. This is the officer seat. As we move to the rear of the officer seat, you'll find a bus bar located here, 12 volt. As we move overhead, you'll find the FireComm system for your wireless headsets on the bottom section. There's also a switch panel directly over that houses the siren brake for your mechanical siren, and any future switches that you may need are cutouts in this area. Digital speedometer just to the left, and then further to the left we have the AM/FM weather band radio. Would like to point out a few things here. Just to the left of this location, you'll find these throughout the vehicle, red and white wiring, spare wiring behind panel indicators. Please don't remove these until your maintenance teams had an opportunity to identify the wires behind. These are helpful for them for installation. Moving now down to the middle section of the cab, you'll find the pull for your air horn, and then also door open ajar. All doors are now open on the passenger side. Let's go ahead and go up onto the roof area of the cab. This is a non-walking surface. We have some identifier warnings indicating that this is a non-walking surface. As we move to the dunnage section, this is where your master stream is located, and then also the location of your Husky 3 foam system reservoir. There is a fill location just to the front of that area. And on the side, there's also a placard indicating the type of hydraulic oil. As we move to the rear section, you'll find top fill locations for your water tank, and then also top fill locations for the foam tank with a warning placard not to mix different brands or consistencies of foam. As we move to the outside edges of the compartments here, we have hatch compartments that have LED lighting, and then also dry deck material inside the lower portion. There are two at the rear and then two midsection hatch compartments. Then just a general view here of the rear section. There is one hose bed divider. It is movable from left to right. Let's go ahead and start now with some of the chassis and cab photos and engine photos. First, starting in the front section of the vehicle. As we start the process of lifting the cab, please ensure when you're lifting the cab that you maintain equal pressure on both left and right cylinders. Once the cab is fully up, go ahead and store the safety bar into position. At no point should you lower the cab onto the safety bar. Maintain equal pressure on right and left cylinders. Your vehicle is equipped with a TAC4 independent front suspension. As we move to some of the items within the engine area, just like to point out a few. This is the recovery tank for your radiator. Power steering is right to the right of that location. There is a sight gauge on it. And then just to the right, you'll find the yellow engine oil and red transmission. As we move around to the driver's side of the frame, you'll find your battery location. Underneath that, you'll find your jumper studs for both positive and negative. And then right next to that is where the fill location is for your DEF. Once again, it's the blue cap. There'll be no additional audio from this point going on. This will conclude the additional chassis photos. Congratulations, East Pierce, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 40238. If you have any questions about your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.